If you only have one day in Disneyland Paris and want to maximise your time, we have you covered. Hi everyone, it's Adam from Disney. There is so much to do at Disneyland Paris and, truthfully, one day isn't enough to do everything. This said, with a bit of planning you can tick off most people's must-do items, so let's dive right in. Firstly, assumptions. For this strategy, we're going to assume you have one full day available to access both parks. We're also assuming you're staying in a Disney hotel either the night before or the evening off your visit. This is really important. Whilst Disney hotels can be expensive, the main perk here is you get access to something called the Extra Magic Hour. Guests staying on Disney property get access to the parks 1 hour before all other guests. This is valid on both check-in day and check-out day. Finally, we're assuming that you've had breakfast or a snack and you're good to go until lunch. With all of that ticked off, let's start your day. With that extra magic hour in the bag, you're going to be able to access the parks usually at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to start our day in the Studios Park, or Adventure World as it's going to be renamed shortly. If extra magic hour starts at 8:30, we recommend being in the queue for 8. This should mean you'll be one of the first people to enter the park. Once you enter, you're going to make a right hand turn and you're going to head straight to Crusher's Coaster. This ride always has the longest waits in other parks, and it's the big one to tick off first. If you find by the time you get there there's already a large queue, consider using the single rider line, which will be a shorter wait. And if the queue is crazy, you've just not quite got the timing right, then we suggest splurging, booking a single fast pass called a Premier Access for later that morning. Next, you're going to work through the following rides: Web Slingers, then Tower of Terror, and then Avengers Flight Force. If you've had a good run, it's going to be around 9:30, 10 AM by the time you've got through these, by which point RC Racer and Ratatouille will be open, which you can head over to and tick those off. At this point, you'll have done all the big rides in this park. You can then spend 10:30 to 1:30-ish working your way through the park, ticking off those smaller rides and taking in a show or two. Our favourite show in this park is the Pixar Musical Adventure, but there are many more to choose from. You should aim to finish in this park around 1:30 and make your way over to the main Disneyland park. After all of those thrill rides, it can be a good idea to stop and take a short breather. There's a lot of places to snack and dine, so we're going to give you a few ideas ranging from a quick snack to a full sit-down meal. If you're looking for a light bite, we love Victoria's, which usually opens about 2 PM, where you can get a glass of champagne and a cake or two as a quick pick-me-up. If you're looking for something a little more substantial, then we love the Cable Car Bakery for coffee and sandwiches, as well as delicious pastries. If you're in the mood for a big meal, then Plaza Gardens Buffet has everything you could possibly want. And finally, if you want a leisurely meal, we recommend Waltz. All of these are on or just next to Main Street, so when you enter the parks, and we have reviews on these which we'll leave a link to it. Once you're fed and watered, consider taking in the afternoon parade and shows, and then have a nice afternoon exploring the parks, maybe having a few snacks and ticking off the bulk of the rides. We strongly suggest saving those big thrill rides like Hyperspace Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain for later in the day. Focus on the rides with smaller wait times like Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast, Pirates of the Caribbean, Phantom Manor, Autopia, It's a Small World. Make sure you take a little bit of a break in between all of these to stop and enjoy the scenery. There's so much to do, and if you've only got one day, it can be really tempting to rush like a lunatic through everything and not actually stop and take a moment to appreciate the surroundings. We love getting the Disneyland Railroad around the park, or exploring the castle where you can meet the dragon underneath, or head upstairs and explore the beauty of this building. By this point, it's going to be around 7 or 8 PM-ish, and you're going to want to aim around an hour to an hour and a half before the nighttime show starts to tick off your remaining big ticket rides. Starting with Hyperspace Mountain, as this is usually a 20 to 40 minute queue, and then aim to get to Big Thunder 30-40 minutes or so before the fireworks show. At this point, the stated wait times are usually a little bit inflated. The nighttime fireworks show is the same time that the parks officially close, so if it's 9 PM, You're going to get into that ride queue at Big Thunder for around 8:20, 8:30, and you'll likely be off that ride on or just around 9 PM. You're going to make a quick dash down Main Street to catch that show. We recommend taking this little path, which a lot of people don't even know exists, and it's a great shortcut. And if Main Street is crowded, as it usually will be at that time of night, take the arcade to skip the crowds and get near to the entrance of the park. Whilst you won't get a good view of the projections on the castle from this distance, this is a great spot to see all the fireworks, and as of 2025, the new projection mapping all the way down Main Street. If you really want to see the detail of the projections, consider splurging on a reserved fireworks spot to watch the show. You won't see all the detail, so the Main Street projections, it's not maybe the best spot for fireworks and drones, but it does guarantee you a great view of the castle. Note you will need to book this at least a few days before arriving to get the best chance to secure this. The night show lasts about 25 minutes or so depending on the park closure that day, the show is going to be finishing somewhere around 9:30 to 11:30. Once the show ends, the park empties out. We recommend not joining those maddening crowds, and if you're close to the castle, pop into the shops on Main Street. They're all pretty much connected together. Not only does this get you out of the crowds, you'll find that the shops are super quiet and it's a nice way to spend 15-20 minutes browsing. Then pop back onto Main Street and enjoy a few minutes off a very quiet park. This is a great way to capture those last few must-get castle pictures and have a few minutes to enjoy the calm and emptiness of Main Street and the castle. After a busy day in the parks, this is a real treat. Depending on what time it is, and if you're a night owl, it's either time to head home or to your hotel, but if you're still going strong, we recommend heading to Disney Village and exploring some of the shops or grabbing a drink in one of their bars. Another great option is to head to Lake Disney, where the Marvel Hotel, Sequoia Lodge and Newport Bay are all housed, and pop into maybe one or two of these, have a look around and grab a cocktail. My favourite bar is the Marvel Hotel's Skyline Bar. This is a gorgeously themed spot with unique cocktails and a great place to recharge before calling it a night on an action-packed Disney day. Now let's move on to a few top tips. Firstly, bag storage. All Disney hotels offer complimentary bag storage on check-in and check-out day, and you also have the option of storing a bag at the main Disneyland park for a few euros. The bag storage in the park closes about 20 minutes after the fireworks show ends. Next, if you're staying on Disney property, and we use this tip a lot, use the price estimate calculator to find the best deal for you. We have a separate video reviewing all of the hotels you might find useful. If you can, try and avoid weekends, school holidays, and come midweek where it'll A, be cheaper and B, be quieter. Consider booking 1 or 2 paid fast passes. We don't usually do this, but in one day this can shave a good hour or so off your wait times and help you fit more in. If the queues are a little busier than expected, consider utilising that single rider line where it exists. It does mean if you're with a group you'll be split up, but this can shave 15-20 minutes off a wait for each ride. And finally, if you've only got one day in the parks and you're not sure when or if you're going to come back, consider splurging on a photo pass to capture pictures and memories of your day. A good few rides have photo pass connected, and there's photo pass cast members in at the parks to help you get those must-have pictures. And that's another video done. Thank you for watching, and if you like this content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up and hit that notification button for more. This is Adam, and until next time, just keep swimming.